plant friends, welcome back. It's a beautiful mid-March day. The sun is shining, the birds are out at the feeder, the snow is melting, which is wonderful. Just loving today. Today I have a marathon of seed starting to do. Plenty of seeds to catch up on. Lots of them are just going to be milk jug, winter sown. And some of them we will do soil blocking. It's currently March 12th for me, 8 to 10 week window for seed starting. So the herbs and the flowers I'm going to soil block. We're going to start with herbs, rosemary, and sage. Sage I've been able to keep as a perennial. I didn't even realize it was a perennial, but I've had it in my garden. This will be the third season, and it looks good, like it'll come back. It doesn't say on the packet what it's hardy to. But I'm going to start more, and maybe I can give it away to friends and family, or just grow more of it here and harvest to dry. Maybe put it in cut flower arrangements for bouquets, or dry flower arrangements, medicine making. Can't wait. I'm so excited. For the flowers, I'm going to grow columbine, McKenna Giants Mix, Dusty Miller Candy Cans, Feverfew White Stars. These ones have pictures on it. I'll show you. Now I do have Feverfew growing downstairs. It is a Virgo variety. I'm going to try the White Stars today, see how that goes. Gaillardia Double Sunset, Nicotiana Bronze Queen, Pansy Brushstrokes Viola. I grew this one last year. I loved it. It actually bloomed all summer long. With this one, the Pansy Celestial Blue. And this pansy is Black King, it's called. I love the color. It is an older seed. I didn't have great germination, so I'm just going to plant the rest of what I have and see what grows. Now I have a petunia, Superbissima Cernes Triumph Mix. Isn't that pretty? So this says you can use this as edible flowers. Next up we have snapdragons. I do have some snapdragons going already. I'm just going to get another succession going of that. So the snapdragons I have, I'll put a picture up on the screen. I don't have images on these. Potomac Cherry Rose, which happens to be in a group 3 or 4, which means it blooms in the warmer months of the season. Potomac Ivory, that's also a group 3 to 4. Legend Light Pink, group 1. Lion's Mouth Snapdragon. It doesn't say what group this belongs to, but grow it anyways. Snapdragon Night and Day. This is group 2, Costa Silver. Group 3, Early Bronze. Group 3 to 4, Orleans Early Lemon Yellow. I love snapdragons so much. I'm going to try drying them this year. I've seen another flower farmer on YouTube dry them, and I'm so excited to try that and see how it goes. Next up is Sweet William Dianthus. This is from Botanical Interests. From Johnny's, Frizzle Sizzle Yellow Viola. This is a viola from Baker Creek, Envy. So this I bought this year. It says it has low germination, so I'm just going to go ahead and plant all of the seeds in that. And last up for flowers is Summer Pastels Yarrow. For winter sowing, I'm not sure if I'm going to get all of these done, but these are the rest of the, these are the veggies. I'm going to winter sow just the veggies. I've just had great luck with it. First up, celery. I grew this last year. The germination was great. The celery was fantastic. Love it. Can't wait to try that again. This was a free seed. A cucumber. Boston pickling. Delicatesse. I love pickling veggies. This eggplant did wonderful last year. Next up we have melons. This is a bitter melon. I've had that for a couple of years. I've been hesitant to start it, but it's supposed to help with bitters and digestion. Cantaloupe, Sarah's Choice. This is a melon, Minnesota Midget. Watermelon, Blacktail Mountain. Leeks. Those did great last year. Bunching onion. Another onion in the house. I forgot to grab the seeds, but I'm definitely going to start other onions as well. Banana peppers. This is a pepper Buena Mulata, Cayenne Long Thin. These did wonderful last year. Purple Firecracker Cayenne. These are from Siskiyou Seeds. Craig's Grande Jalapeno. pepper, King of the North. This one is a long one. I'll just hold it up. First 7-pot hot chocolate. Not hot chocolate. 7-pot chocolate. Black pepper. This is a sweet pepper, Zulu. Now on to the tomatoes. We have Black Beauty, Roma tomato, Wild Cherry tomato, Matt's Wild Cherry, Tappy's Heritage, Thorburns Terracotta tomato. And these tomatillos I made salsa verde with these purple tomatillos. Aren't they pretty? I love them. I'm so excited to try that again. And then some gourds. I have Birdhouse, hard-shelled, loofah, and then pumpkins. We have Jack Be Little. I had white pumpkins. I ran out of the seeds. I'll have to get some more of that. Jack-o'-lantern. Just want to get a head start, get these in the milk jugs so they're ready. These, the pumpkins and the squash could actually be planted, directly planted right in the ground. I just wanted to get a jump on it. Butternut squash. This is a winter squash. Lemon squash. Another winter squash. And another kind of zucchini. Zucchini rampicante. These are long zucchinis. Very fun to grow. Let's see what we can get done. Let's go. First up, we're going to soil block. I have the coconut coir recipe that I used before. I'll link the previous video down below. It goes over the new soil mixture recipe for soil blocking. I love it, so I'm going to try it again. It's potting soil, sand, kelp meal, and coconut coir. I'm doing a whole bunch of seeds at once. I like to set it up more of like a production line. So making all the soil blocks first. Well, I used what I had left for soil. I might need more. I might not get to it all today, and that's okay. I'm just going to do what I can, not stress myself out. So next up, I'm just going to sit down and write all the labels for everything I want to grow. If I don't get to it, the labels are ready for next time. So the way I stored these last year was in these containers. I have one for flowers and one for herbs. It's just like a trading card kind of style. And I stored them in my basement. They got too moist, too damp down there. So I'm not sure of the seed quality. So I'm just going to over plant. Hopefully everything goes well. I'm going to do 2 per cell for probably most of these. So for the rosemary, it just says to surface cells. I'm just going to put some light layer of vermiculite on top because it needs the light to germinate. Mist them. You want to keep them evenly moist, it said too, so we will keep an eye on these until they germinate. Okay, one down, a gazillion more to go. So I'm gonna combine Dusty Miller and Feverfew in this tray, just because I don't need a ton of them. If one germinates faster than the other, I will just fold back the saran wrap onto one half so the other half stays covered until they germinate. For me, planting these small seeds is just easier to wet the tip of a toothpick, and then I can grab the seeds and drop it in the soil, and the wetness of the soil catches it. It goes a lot faster than overplanting or losing seeds or trying to fumble by grabbing it with your fingers. So this said 1/8 to 1/4 inch of seed depth, so I am just going to be generous with the vermiculite. Next up is Nicotiana, Bronze Queen. This is poisonous, so just be sure to wash your hands if using. Surface sow, so I'm just going to use my toothpick so I don't have to touch it. So these are pelleted seeds. You just want to be sure to use any pelleted seeds in the first year. They're best used within the first year, so I'm just going to go ahead and plant all of these. And because they're pelleted, they are coated, so I don't have to worry about touching them. I can't find my toothpick. These are so small, I might end up with 1 or 2 in each. So it's just picking up 2, no worries on that. And last up we have yarrow. I did plant this last year. It does grow crazy good here. So I'm just gonna finish up this seed pack I have, and I should be good because it's a wonderful perennial. These are so pretty, it's the summer pastels. And this is surface sow as well. Ideally, I wouldn't want to grow this many different varieties in the same tray, but these have a lot of the same germination requirements. Aren't those pretty? It has low germination rate. I only did 1 per cell because I don't need that many violas and pansies. So I'm just gonna do this and see what grows. As tempting as it is to start all the seeds, you gotta think about your space too and what you have and what you'll use. That's it for soil blacking. I have almost all of it done. I did hold off on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kinds of snapdragons because I have them growing in the basement. I want to wait and see what their germination is before I start any more. I don't have a ton of space. I want room for other things to grow, so I'm going to hold off on these for now. I'm going to get these covered, get them in the basement, and then start some milk jugs. It's been a couple days. That afternoon got away from me, so today I'm back at it. Today is like the complete opposite of the other day. We're in the middle of a winter snowstorm. It's March 14th, so it's wet and heavy snow. Some trees are down, places around us lost power, but what better day than to get some more milk jugs planted, right? So back in the shed, let's see what we can get done. So I'm going to do the same as before, just fill the milk jugs production line style. Already pre-mixed. Need to add a little more water. So just a reminder, when we're winter sowing, we're using a transparent container, plastic container. This is a milk jug. Sometimes you might refer it to as planting milk jugs. That's what I call it, but it's winter sowing. You can see my finger through it. You don't want any opaque ones. We're going to pre-moisten some potting soil. We don't want to use seed starting mix. We're going to use potting soil for this. We want about 3 to 4 inches of soil. I don't know if you can see my water line here is about 3 inches. Just gives ample room for the seedling to develop, because these are going to go right from the milk jugs right into the garden. So we leave the cover off. The premise of this is that it hardens the seedlings to the outdoor elements better, so you don't have to harden them off. So as they grow, they're used to the outdoor temperatures. And we'll plant our seeds according to the packet directions. For the seed depth, top it with some vermiculite, moisten the soil on top, put a label in, label the outside, and tape it shut. Stick it outside. Let the snow and the rain get in here to keep your seedlings wet for you. And the dome acts as a greenhouse effect, keeping it nice and warm in there. The one thing you'll want to watch out for is if the seedlings do come up and you're going to have a chilly or cold night, just to cover the ones where the seedlings have emerged to reduce any frost damage. All right, let's do it. So the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm going to do yellow onions, Patterson, red onions, red wing, celery, and 2 kinds of cucumbers. For the onions, I'm just going to scatter the seeds around. I just like to do it that way better. And the seed depth will be, it says 1/4 cover inch, so we're just going to barely cover them. And then these onions, when we go to transplant them out, will be easy enough to just pull them apart. Okay. I did not make labels for these the other day because I forgot them in the house, so I'll do that now. Okay. It's kind of cool because as you're watering, you can see the water on the sides. And then we'll top it off. If you can kind of get the lid to overlap the other one, it kind of helps hold it in place until you get the tape out. So just guess the length. Sometimes I have to add more. That's all right. Rip it off. Twist it on. I like the overlap. Just ensures we have a good seal. I'll show you one more and then we'll speed this up. I have seen it where some people will just overlap the milk jug on top of itself and it'll help seal it. I, in my experience, haven't noticed that that was necessarily helpful because ultimately it does separate and you get some moisture that escapes out, and you want to trap in as much moisture as you can to create that greenhouse effect. And there's that. add some of the coconut coir I have mixed up, just because I'm running out of soil and I want it to go further until I can get to the store again. Not happening today, so I might not get as many milk jugs done as I wanted. Alright, so I'm running out of soil, so I just have 4 more milk jugs to plant. I'm going to do 1 more cucumber variety, leeks, these bunching onions, and this eggplant. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of water here where it's dripping out. That's actually good. Look at that drainage. The other ones weren't like that, and I'm okay with it because it's snowing out, so they're going to get free watering. You just put these outside, let the sun and the rain and the free grow lights, the sun, grow these plants for you. And it's just basically closer in touch with how nature intended. And you're recycling used containers, which I love. I had to go run in the house to find this, but another thing you can do is you can take, if you're unsure about spacing and how deep to put it, you can take, this is just an old paintbrush or a pencil, something like that, and then you can use a tape measure or ruler, and you can mark a 1/2 inch depth, 1/4 inch, all the way to 1 inch. I've never seen a seed planted at 1 inch, but so we'll just line this up, put our mark, and our other mark, and you can just make it go all the way around. So you know your first line is 1/4 inch, and that's a 1/2 inch. So when you're making your holes, you can just go down. Whoops, turn it so you can see. Alright, so now, whoops, the water's dripping on the floor. You can probably hear it. So now what you do when you're making your holes is just go down 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. You don't have to think about it. Alright, plant friends, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed that video. One thing I will keep an eye on is as the snow melts, these might sink down. This is a stump that's right here, and it might not be exactly on it, so I'm just going to keep an eye on it and make sure they stay flat and don't tip over. But this is fine. Let the snow snowing right in there. Get some moisture. Perfect. Thanks for watching. Take care. Be well.